5 years ago, no, 2018, 2019, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25. Oh my god, time has gone. Oh, we're growing old. Okay. Hi there and welcome to this video. My name is Ryan, and if you're new here, well, welcome. So naturally, when you're about to go abroad, you're doing all the necessary preparations, right? I'm talking, you're getting your visa, you're getting the right clothes, you've googled about the weather, the kind of conditions there, how are people there, what are their practices, all those things. Great. The first thing I'm going to tell you, I know there's so many people who could possibly give you advice, and it is best to listen to different people to get different perspectives and know that at least you're going armed with enough information to support you in any situation. However, I personally at that age ignored a lot of things. You would think that I would take advantage of this opportunity in a different way. Well, no, I did not. That's what this video is all about. If you get the opportunity, or when you have the chance to go out there to a country or university of your choice, and you have the chance to be the only person or among a small group of people that get to represent your country, there are so many ways, so many different ways that experience can go, and it only comes from you taking great advantage of it. So you're most welcome to this video. In case you see me looking down, I've taken some notes so that we're able to stay on track and ensure that the conversation is really within the boundaries or the structure that I actually have to share from. This is of course coming from my personal experience, and I do not speak for other people when I share this. So in case you have a different experience, or if you want to talk about this whole conversation in a whole different angle, please, you're most welcome to share. You can let us know in the comments or point us in the right direction so that we can get to know what kind of experiences people have had out there, especially if you are Ugandan. So in 2018, I got the chance to go to a country in Asia, and it was pretty awesome. Well, in hindsight, in the moment it felt like a lot of work. I won't even lie to you. It was very depressing to a certain degree, and I was always overwhelmed. I felt very antsy, and I guess I was not prepared for the experience. Not that the people in my life had not prepared me. My parents and my relatives who had also traveled shared with me, but at that time I was only a teenager, and it was my first time being that far away from home and for such a long time. So I guess in a sense, my body was always in a state of survival or panic, and I didn't get the chance to actually enjoy the experience and immerse myself into it and just be an international student living their best life. Of course, I have to remind you that just because people look like they're having the time of their lives does not mean they're having the time of their lives, but it also does not mean that they're not having the time of their lives. I guess what I'm trying to say is that don't try so much to compare your life to another person out there. Just do your thing, but be in tune with who you really are so that you can make the most of every opportunity when you have it while you still have it. So just for some hindsight, I was in a university that's actually one of the best universities in that country. It's a very big university, had so many opportunities, had over 30,000 students, which means there's so much room to explore, to learn, to grow. And I guess in a certain way, I got the opportunity to grow and learn different things, both about myself, but also about the world. I, however, if I'm being honest, could have used this opportunity in a different way, and I think I would have benefited more from it. I'm not saying that I regret not doing any of those things. No. Sometimes life goes the way it goes, and it's up to us to ensure that it continues getting better, or just, growing in the right ways, if you feel me. The thing about this particular video is I'm just focusing on the things that I actually wish I had done or known before. So I'm not going to go into like the nitty-gritty of the other important stuff. However, if you want another video on that, I could look into making it. But this video is about my personal experience and the lessons that I learned. We'll be approaching it from different perspectives of life, like the mental, financial, spiritual, etc. So at least the points are organized. Like I shared, these are my personal experiences, and if someone had told me this and maybe stuck on my neck with it, I could have taken it more seriously, but I did not. However, you get the chance to do it right. The first thing I would say is get ready to document your life. Yes, I'm talking, get very intentional about sharing your story. Not, okay, maybe you're not comfortable with having a presence on social media, or you don't want people to know what's going on. You know that whole thing of monitoring spirits move in silence. Yes, great, that's fine. That's really fine, no judgment. But take pictures, take notes. You can create a blog or have a vlog. Even if the people in your life don't know about it, this is your opportunity to start afresh. This is your chance to redefine who you are. The people back home don't need to know you. They don't need to know you have a vlog which you update every day. If you get lucky and you go viral, or unlucky and go viral, that's fine, but at least you would have already set a pace with your new life, your new identity. Remember, you're leaving the country, so you actually are a new person and you have to act different. A lot of things have automatically changed about your life. So make sure that you are approaching it in a way that's very curious and open-minded, and you have the stats to show for it. You may say, I don't have a nice phone, or my phone does not have enough space. It's as simple as getting a Google Drive, or learning how to write, getting a journal, being more inquisitive, learning how to take pictures of yourself or selfies in the moment. The reason why I'm saying this is because you don't want to reach a point where you actually regret or feel like some things passed you by just because you ignored them, right? Getting off from the financial. The first thing is that when you're abroad, especially if you're coming from Uganda, our currency sometimes does not hold weight depending on where you're going, which would mean you need a lot of Ugandan money to convert it to that country's currency. So when you know that you are about to go abroad and start studying, some countries do not allow you to work, especially if you're on student visa. So you need to have a backup plan. And what does that plan look like? Yes, I'm talking side income, or income that you can make in ways that is not going to penalize you or get you arrested. And what is that? That could be digital income. And some people would say, I'm not good at crypto, or I'm not good at trading. Yes, those are all options, but you could also look into other options that are in your line of work. Maybe it's doing affiliate marketing or finding gigs on Fiverr. And the beauty about going abroad, especially when you're going to countries that are not exactly locked into Africa, I know as Africans we've evolved and now there are some opportunities that we can access. However, we are still kind of being get kept from certain opportunities in the outside world, which could be different if you're going to somewhere like in Asia, Europe, or the Americas. So I would say look for a way to get opportunities online where you can get some income. One of those ways is also having a YouTube channel. Yes, the people abroad really love to hear about different stories about your culture. So if you can find a way to immerse yourself into the YouTube algorithm, get friendly with it, learn how to shoot, edit, maybe you could get gigs where you shoot or edit, or also get income from having a YouTube channel. That's just one of the ways. However, we can look into other ways of being able to raise income as an international student. The second thing, which I kind of overlooked as a foreign student, was staying in close contact with the embassy or the high commission of your country in the foreign country that you're going to. Why do I stress that? There are so many opportunities that come within the commissions that could support you both financially but also socially. You get to be able to network, meet different people, have access to high-end events where you can meet people that can also support you on your journey. These people can be your mentors, they can be your friends, or even your sponsors as you go along your foreign student journey. So I would say find out when you land, try to connect with the people at the High Commission or the embassy, get a contact in there, be friendly, like work on your attitude. Even when you're scared, even if you're shy, it's okay. People don't need to know that you're shy. People don't need to know that you're shaking to talk to them. Just talk to them, get a contact, and stay in close contact. Just keep saying hi. Is there anything going on? Or hey, happy Easter. Hey, happy Independence Day. There are usually opportunities that come around Independence Days, and for example, someone as myself who is dancing in campus, there would be opportunities to perform on special days that were at the embassy or the High Commission. The beauty about this is that with Africans, you also get to explore and tap into different cultures as well. So you find yourself tapping into embassies like for Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, etc. Stay safe. stay safe. Every opportunity can come with either its high sides or the low sides, but you have to be very discerning. Okay, pray for discernment. Make sure you're making your decisions from a point of agreement and not pressure. You're not making it because you're anxious or you really want the opportunity so bad that you're blind to the details, the little details that are in between. Okay, the next thing I would say is score a university internship or placement. So in my campus, we had something called placement. The university has a program that they place second year students or third year students, depending on what your course is. And basically this is like an internship. But of course, you know, because the university is affiliated to like these top high-end companies, they are putting you into amazing companies. I'm talking top tech companies or top journalism companies, movie companies, film companies, just not depending on whatever field you're in, the chances that your international university is affiliated to them are high. And the only way you can find that out is by reading the school bulletin. We used to have an app at school whereby we could check updates, we could see different announcements, we could check our marks, our results, different things like that. But just don't use it for the things you think you have to use it for. Read those little announcements that be swiping up there, or the pop-up notifications that come from the school. Of course, in the moment, it feels like a lot of stress, especially if you're surrounded by international students that do not care. These people do not give a. They're just here to study and go. Some of them are coming from money. Some of them don't really care for school. Some of them have been sent there as a punishment. Can you imagine? But these people may not be on the same lane. For you, I would love you to take responsibility for your life and make a decision that's really empowering for your future. Don't just live in the moment. Yes, be present, but live beyond the moment. Live within and beyond the moment. That's actually how I can say it. Don't just live for that moment. So look out for those internships, look out for those placements. Be friends with your lecturers, as stressful as that may sound, especially because sometimes the lecturers don't even want to be your friend. That's okay. They're supposed to be polite to you though. They are your teachers. It is their job to be polite and respectful to you. So have a very cordial relationship with them. Reach out to them, ask them for support, ask them for guidance, ask them for recommendations, and you could land a chance to actually further or make your CV a very heavy one. You basically just need a heavyweight CV. Also, the beauty about such experiences is that they really give you that on-ground feeling and you're able to journey through life in a great way. So the next one I've got on here is network. Network like crazy! Yes. I'm not even talking that like psycho way of like networking where it's like this and that, have a business card. You can have a business card, you can have a solid social media presence, whatever it is you want to have, but I'm talking at person to personal level. Be friendly, be approachable, open yourself up to the world, because you're out there now. You can't easily run back home and you have to book a flight for that, right? Or take a really long bus trip, and you don't want to do that. You want to like suck it out and be amazing. So the essence of networking here is basically to keep connecting with different people, get to meet people from different countries, get to learn about them, get to learn about the cultures, how to have conversations, how to introduce yourself, maybe the pleasantries in different languages. What that does is also not only contribute to your CV or your resume, but also adds this flavor to you as a person. Have you ever had plain noodles when there's just no spice? There's nothing, no salt, it's just plain. That's what you are before you open yourself up to the world. But once you open yourself up to the world, even your worldview changes, your perspectives change, you're able to approach situations with a whole different flavor, and which means your life has higher chances of turning out different. So you could be just looking for a normal basic life. I'm talking, you know, whatever goals you have that may not be as grand or something to another person, but the fact that you've opened yourself up to the world, things could go very, very, very different. This will up your social life, but it could also contribute positively to your mental health, your financial well-being, and different aspects of your life. So don't like hold yourself back too much. Have a good time. Get to meet people, introduce yourself, have a very catchy introduction. And I'm here to tell you that actually when you say, hi, I'm so and so from Uganda, that's enough. For the start, that's enough. So don't put yourself on too much pressure. Let that social anxiety go to sleep. Don't allow that social anxiety to hang around. No. Leave that over the water when you're flying. You know the thing they tell you when the plane is taking off, you leave everything behind? That's that jazz. You see that new identity you're trying to create, curate it. You literally pick out what experience you want to include. You pick out what life you're going to talk about. You pick out what experiences get to have room in your memory, but also in your heart, but also in your expression. So please don't hold yourself back. Have a good time. And yeah, c'est la vie. Another thing is there is a lot of access to the International Student Office. This is something that I also did not take advantage of, but student offices have so much things to offer. They have the fast news on what mixed opportunities there are. Of course, sometimes there are opportunities that are just reserved for the locals or the students that are indigenous to the country. However, the International Student Office gives you access to the opportunities that are open to international students like you, which means you'll be the first to know. Just keep on checking once in a while. Find out what's going on there. Get a contact who you can ask. Of course, they may not be open to being friends. Like I told you, you're not here to be friends with people, my G. You're here to grow. You're here to evolve. You're here to set yourself up for your next phase in life, okay? I know, yes, it's life and everything, but when we look at it as a transitory period, especially if you're just doing your bachelor's, if you're a teenager transitioning into uni, for the first time, this is just a transition. I'm not lying to you. It's a transition. So take it as such. Experiment, learn different things so that you're able to use them to contribute to the next phase of your life. And P.S., you get to decide what phase it is, okay? Yeah. So when it comes to being social, if you are shy but you feel like you have some income or some cash flow, I would recommend that you go into student organized trips. There are so many different countries that come with ambitious guys, or when you find that all the students there, they already have programs that are running, experiences that are going on. This is one of the best ways to be a part of the diaspora community that is not from your country. They could be from different countries in Africa as well, or even other countries that are not the country that you're studying in. So it would be a good way to get to know other people and they can relate with you, so that you are on speed dial, or at least you're on their list of people when there's anything important going on. Some of the casual things that I wish I had taken note of earlier on is it's okay to be social, pour your whole heart out, let people get to know you. However, remember, like I told you, you're curating a life. So be wary of what information you put out there, because it is used to paint a picture of you out there. I'm sure some of you students, international students, have had stories about yourself before you even know the people who are sharing the story, right? You could meet someone for the first time and then they tell you, oh, you're that Ugandan girl. Oh, you're that Ugandan girl who did this. You're the one who does that. And yet it could just be some liquor spice you had put in there just for, you know, like social points. But you don't need social points. There are no brownie points, my sister or brother. You just put yourself out there in a very respectful way, okay? How do we do that? First things first is the moment you arrive or even before you leave, craft a vision board, okay? Yeah, no, I'm serious. Craft a vision board. Don't play with yourself. Craft a vision board. What is that going to do for you? First things first, it's going to show you how exactly to carry yourself. It's going to show you what opportunities to look out for, what people to pay attention to, and how to approach different situations. You will know that I'm looking to be a student of medicine. I want to graduate on time, but I also want to have time to travel. I want time to go to church. I want to have different friendships from different countries. That way you will learn that when somebody is approaching you, you kind of see where to put them in your little docket or your vision, and therefore you know how to relate with them in a very respectful way. Have self-respect, because if you don't hand it to yourself, for yourself, it will not be given to you, okay? And out there, people don't know you. You are going to find people that care for you so much. They will love you. They will pour their heart and soul into you because that's just who they are. They are good people. But where there is good, there is also bad. So you could meet bad people who don't care for you, or they just want to use you, they want to manipulate you, and they do not care because it's you they are hurting, not them. So pay attention to that. Pay attention to the people you let into your life. Pay attention to the experiences. Pay attention to the language you use. Be very respectful if you want to be respected. If you want to be treated in a cheap way, act cheap, talk cheap. If you want to be treated in a vulgar way, act vulgar, talk vulgar. You will get exactly what you put out. So ensure that whatever you're putting out, you're ready to deal with the consequences. You cannot plant tomatoes and expect potatoes. No. Once you plant tomatoes, you're going to get tomatoes or tomatoes. And if you plant potatoes, you're going to get potatoes or potatoes. That word, my God. Yeah. So my last point here, actually I love that came up because now the last point here I have is be kind to yourself. This is the first time that you're doing that. This is the first time you're experiencing life out there. Maybe it's the first time you're being so far away from home. Even if you've been in boarding school in your country, boarding school still feels like you can reach your parents. Your parents are like a few hours away, so you can also reach them on local calls. But imagine you have to wait for people. They're in a different time zone. You can't reach them. You have to talk to your friends on the phone all the time. You're depressed, or happy, or whatever it is you're feeling, and you want to share with people, but they're a distance away. It will leave you feeling some kind of way. However, be kind to yourself. Take your feelings in stock, journal, write to yourself, talk about it with someone who you trust, access therapy. In the university where I was at, there was a department of happiness, which means we could access a school counselor or therapist who could actually help you talk through the different situations that you could be going through. So I would say do the same. Please, please, please don't let yourself go. Also, in being kind to yourself, be kind to your friends. Be kind to the people that are opening themselves up to you for whatever reason. Some of them may not have good intentions. That's okay. That's not your business. Your business is to be kind. Just be kind, but don't let them step over you. Okay? So yeah, that was it. That was my experience. Those are the lessons learned from my experience. If you would love to learn more or to share, please, you're most welcome to share in the comments. I will read the comments and respond accordingly. If you want to learn more about my story, please don't be afraid to reach out. I'm active in a sense, and we'll be able to respond to the inquiries that come up. Other than that, I wish you well. Enjoy your stay. Maximize. Take care of yourself. Remember, you are an asset, especially to yourself. Bye.